I used to think every family had a favorite child. Then I grew up and realized mine had two. Danish, tell your uncle about the surgery, my mother said while placing food on the table. I reached for the bread, but nobody noticed. It wasn't a big deal, my older brother said, smiling modestly. Just a 12-hour procedure. 12 hours, my aunt gasped. Mashallah, you're a hero. I chewed quietly and stared at my plate. And mehak, my father added. Show them the painting you posted. My younger sister pulled out her phone. It's just a sketch. Everyone leaned toward her screen. So talented, my mother whispered. She gets it from me. I clear my throat. I got my exam results today. Nobody heard me. I tried again. I ranked first in my class. Pass the salad, my father said. I passed the bowl and forced a smile. My brother patted my shoulder without looking at me. Good job, kid. Kid. I was only 1 year younger than him. After dinner, I stepped outside and called Ryan. They forgot again, I said. Forgot what? He asked. I told him I topped my class. He sighed. You deserve better. I don't think they even know what I study. That's not funny, he said softly. I know. The next evening was Mehak's birthday. The house filled with relatives, laughter, and loud music. Smile, my mother shouted while arranging everyone for a photo. I stood at the edge. Come closer, she told Danish. Mehak, stand in the middle. I waited. The camera flashed. I wasn't in the frame. No one noticed. I whispered to Ryan over the phone later. That hurts, he said. It's normal, I replied. Dinner began with cheers and applause. My father raised a glass. Tonight is special. Everyone clapped. I have an announcement, he said proudly. We are selling our land. Gasps filled the room. Why? An uncle asked. To open Danish's clinic, my father said, and send Mehak to art school abroad. Cheers erupted. My mother wiped a tear. Our dreams are coming true. I stared at the table. Ryan texted, You okay? I typed, Not really. My aunt smiled at me. You must be proud of your siblings. I am, I said. My father looked around. Family comes first. My heart started racing. I cleared my throat. What about my plans? The table went quiet. My father laughed. You'll figure something out. I want to study abroad too, I said. He waved his hand. You're practical. You don't need expensive dreams. I worked hard, I whispered. He chuckled. Every car needs a spare tire. The room filled with laughter. I felt my face burn. My brother avoided my eyes. My sister looked down at her cake. I stood up slowly. Excuse me. My mother frowned. Where are you going? Air, I said. Outside, I called Ryan. He called me the spare tire. Silence. That's not okay, he finally said. I think it's true. No, he replied firmly. You're the only one who sees the truth. I wish they saw me. They will one day. I don't think so. I sat on the curb until the party ended. When I went inside, the living room was empty except for my father. You embarrass me, he said. I asked a question. You should be grateful. I am grateful, I whispered. I just wanted support. You're strong, he replied. You don't need it. I nodded slowly. Good night. In my room, I stared at the ceiling. My phone buzzed. Ryan, you're not invisible. I typed back. I feel like I am. He replied, then proved them wrong. I placed the phone on my chest and closed my eyes. For the first time, the house felt unfamiliar. I whispered into the dark. I don't belong here. Sleep didn't come easily that night. The morning after the birthday party, I stopped waiting for praise. At breakfast, my mother said, Danish needs help at the hospital today. I nodded. Okay. No questions. No arguments. Just one word. My brother tossed me his car keys. Be ready in 10 minutes. I grabbed them. Sure. Inside, I whispered to myself, stop asking. Start planning. On campus later, I sat in the back row, filling out scholarship forms instead of taking notes. Ryan slid into the seat beside me. You look suspicious. I'm applying everywhere, I whispered. Abroad? Anywhere far. He grinned. Finally. I'm not telling them. You shouldn't. I hit submit on another application. My hand shook. Scared? He asked. Excited, I said. For the first time. After class, I stayed behind while everyone left. A voice behind me said, You missed half the lecture. I turned. Sorry, sir. Professor Hamid smiled. Scholarship forms? I froze. How did you know? I used to fill them out too, he said. Come to my office. I followed him nervously. He handed me tea. Tell me your plan. I don't have one, I admitted. I just want out. Out of what? My life. He leaned back. Good answer. I blinked. Good. You don't need applause to succeed, he said. You need discipline. Nobody had ever said that to me before. I can write you a recommendation, he added. My voice cracked. Why would you help me? Because you remind me of myself. I walked out of his office feeling lighter. That evening, Danish called. Where are you? Campus. Come to the clinic site. I arrived to find him pointing at construction plans. Carry these boxes, he said. I lifted them without complaining. You'll help me run this place someday, he added. I forced a smile. Sure. You should be grateful, he said. I'm giving you experience. I nodded quietly. Later, Mahat called. Can you send me money? For what? Art supplies. You still owe me from last time. Don't be stingy, she laughed. I transferred the money anyway. Thanks, she said. You're the best. The call ended. I whispered, am I? Weeks passed in silence and secret applications. One night at dinner, my mother asked, why are you always on your laptop? Studying. Good, she said. Danish needs you focused. I looked up. What about what I need? She frowned. We already talked about this. No, we didn't. My father sighed. Don't start. I just want support, I said. My mother's voice hardened. Your siblings need us more. The words hit like a slap. I pushed my chair back. I see. You're being dramatic, my father muttered. I stood up slowly. No, I'm being quiet. In my room, I packed a small box of documents. Passport, certificates, recommendation letter. Ryan called. You sound different. I stopped asking. Does it hurt? Yes, I said. But it feels clean. You're leaving, aren't you? Soon. Late that night, my phone buzzed. An email notification glowed on the screen. My heart pounded as I opened it. Congratulations. My hands trembled. I read again and again. Full scholarship. Tuition. Housing. I covered my mouth to stop the sound escaping. Tears blurred the words. I whispered to the empty room, this is my way out. I left before sunrise. My suitcase felt heavier than it looked. Ryan whispered on the phone, you're really doing this. I'm already outside, I said. Are you scared? Yes. Good, he replied. It means you're alive. I smiled faintly. Don't tell anyone. I won't. Not even if they ask. They won't, he said softly. The bus arrived with a long hiss. This is it, I whispered. Call me when you reach, he said. I will. I hung up and stepped onto the bus without looking back. Hours later, the new city felt loud and unfamiliar. I dragged my suitcase into a cheap apartment building. The landlord glanced at me. Rent is due weekly. I understand. No parties. No noise. I won't be noticed, I said quietly. He shrugged. Good. My room smelled like dust and paint. I sat on the bed and laughed softly. This is mine. Silence answered me. That night, hunger kept me awake. The next morning, I started job hunting. At the third office, a woman at the desk asked, Experience? None, I admitted. She sighed. Try the call center upstairs. I climbed the stairs and handed my resume to a manager. Can you speak clearly? He asked. Yes. Start tomorrow. I nodded quickly. Thank you. The training room buzzed with chatter. A girl slid into the seat beside me. First day. Yes. I'm Aisha, she said. I hesitated. Nice to meet you. You didn't tell me your name. I blinked. Sorry. I'm me. She laughed. Mysterious. I'm just tired. From what? Life. She leaned closer. You don't talk much. I'm practicing silence. That sounds sad. It's peaceful. Days turn into weeks filled with calls and scripts. One evening, Aisha nudged me. You never join lunch. I bring food. Where is it? I hesitated. I forget sometimes. She stared at me. You skipped lunch again. I'm fine. You're lying, she said. Come with me. At the cafe, she pushed a sandwich toward me. I can't accept this. You can, she insisted. I took a bite slowly. See, she smiled. You look human now. I laughed for the first time in weeks. You should smile more, she said. I forgot how. Practice with me. We started walking home together after shifts. One night, she asked, Why did you move here? Fresh start. From what? Family. Bad. Complicated. She stopped walking. Talk to me. I hesitated, then whispered, they don't see me. I see you, she said instantly. The words hit harder than I expected. Thank you, I whispered. Weeks passed without a single call from home. One afternoon, my phone buzzed. Mom, send money. Mehak's tuition deadline. I stared at the screen. No greeting, no question, just a demand. Aisha noticed my silence. Bad news? My first message from home. What did they say? Nothing important. I locked my phone and slipped it into my pocket. Something inside me went quiet forever. That night, I whispered to myself, I won't beg for love again. The room felt smaller, but my dreams felt bigger. I stopped counting days and started counting goals. Aisha watched me type nonstop and said, You're going to break your keyboard. I can't slow down, I replied. You don't have to win everything today. I do, I whispered. She pushed coffee toward me. Then at least drink this. Ryan called that night. You sound busy. I'm building something. What kind of something? A platform for small businesses. He laughed. That sounds big. It starts small. Weeks blurred into months of code, calls, and late nights. Aisha leaned over my screen. This looks real. It is real. You built this alone? Not alone, I said. You kept me sane. She smiled softly. I accept partial credit. I pitched the idea to small clients after work. One owner frowned. Why should I trust you? Because I won't stop improving, I said. He nodded slowly. I like your honesty. My first client signed that day. I ran outside and called Ryan. I did it. I knew you would, he shouted. Aisha hugged me in the hallway. Celebrate. I can't, I said. I have more work. You're impossible, she laughed. Months later, she said, You need investors. I don't know any. I know someone, she said. We met Imran in a quiet cafe. He studied me silently. Pitch. I spoke for 10 minutes without breathing. He folded his hands. Why you? Because I don't quit. He nodded slowly. Good answer. Aisha squeezed my arm under the table. Imran leaned forward. Success attracts the same people who ignored you. I froze. What do you mean? They will return, he said calmly. Be careful who you trust. I swallowed hard. I will. He smiled. I'm in. I stared at him. You believe in me? I believe in growth. I shook his hand with trembling fingers. Everything moved faster after that. We hired our first employee. I walked into our tiny office and whispered, This is real. Aisha clapped. Boss energy. Ryan visited and whistled. Look at you. I still feel like the same person. You're not, he said proudly. The first paycheck arrived months later. I stared at the numbers and laughed nervously. Aisha peeked over my shoulder. You're rich. I'm stable, I corrected. That's richer than money, she said. Years passed in quick flashes of meetings and milestones. One evening, I leaned back and said, I think I'm proud of myself. Aisha smiled. You should be. My phone rang suddenly. Unknown number. I answered slowly. Hello. A familiar voice replied, Son. My chest tightened instantly. Dad, we miss you, he said warmly. I closed my eyes. It's been years. You should visit, he continued. Come home. My hands trembled. Aisha whispered, Who is it? My father, I mouthed. Say yes, she whispered gently. I hesitated. Okay. I hung up and stared at the floor. Something inside me felt uneasy, but I ignored it. The house looked smaller than I remembered. My mother opened the door and gasped. You're here. She hugged me tightly. We missed you so much, she said. My father shook my hand proudly. Look at you. I forced a smile. It's been a while. Relatives filled the living room within minutes. This is our son, my father announced loudly. He runs a company. I shifted uncomfortably. It's still growing. My aunt whispered, You made your parents proud. I nodded politely. My mother pulled me to the kitchen. I cooked your favorites. You didn't have to. I wanted to, she said softly. Danish arrived late and hugged me quickly. Big businessman now. Still your brother, I said. He laughed. We need to talk later. Mehak twirled into the room. I missed you. I missed you too. I replied automatically. Dinner felt louder than ever. My father kept talking. He built everything himself. I stared at my plate. My uncle asked, How much do you earn? I laughed nervously. Enough. My father answered proudly. More than enough. I felt like a trophy on the table. After dinner, Danish pulled me aside. I have a proposal, he said. I sighed quietly. What is it? I want to expand my clinic. That's great. I need investment. My chest tightened. How much? Not much for you. I nodded slowly. I'll think about it. He smiled widely. I knew you'd help. Later, Mehak cornered me in the hallway. I'm planning an exhibition abroad, she said excitedly. That sounds amazing. I need sponsorship. My heart sank. Of course you do. You always support me, she said sweetly. I forced a smile. We'll talk later. That night, laughter filled the house again. But something felt wrong. I walked toward the kitchen for water and froze. My parents were whispering. We should have pushed him sooner, my father said. My mother replied, at least he's successful now. He can help the whole family, my father added. My hand tightened around the glass. Everything suddenly made sense. They didn't miss me. They missed what I became. I returned to the dining room quietly. My father noticed me. Everything okay? No, I said calmly. We need to talk. Silence filled the room. My mother frowned. What's wrong? I heard you. My father stiffened. Heard what? Your plan. My brother sighed. Don't overreact. I'm not, I replied. My voice shook. Did you ever miss me? My mother whispered, of course. Or did you miss my money? My father slammed his hand on the table. Watch your tone. Answer me, I said firmly. You're being disrespectful, he snapped. I left because I felt invisible. You were dramatic, he replied. My chest burned. I begged for support. We supported you, he argued. No, I said. You supported them. My father stood up angrily. Everything you have is because of this family. I laughed bitterly. No. The room went silent. Everything I have is because I left. The silence after my words felt louder than shouting. My father stared at me. Leave if you feel that way. I already did, I replied quietly. My mother whispered, don't go like this. I didn't start this, I said. Danish crossed his arms. You're selfish. I learned from the best. Mehak looked away. You changed. I finally did, I said. I walked out before anyone stopped me. The drive back felt longer than the trip there. Aisha opened the door and hugged me. How bad was it? Exactly what I expected, I said. You did the right thing. I hope so. Weeks passed without a single message. Then months slipped by. One evening, Ryan called. Have you heard? Heard what? Danish's clinic is struggling. I closed my eyes. I'm not surprised. He expanded too fast, Ryan said. Loans, staff, everything. I whispered. I warned him. Aisha sat beside me. How do you feel? I don't know. Another month passed. My phone buzzed again. Ryan texted. Mehak's exhibition got canceled. I stared at the screen. Aisha asked, more news? Yes. Do you feel happy? No, I said honestly. Do you feel sad? Yes. She squeezed my hand. That's human. Late one night, my phone rang. Mom. I hesitated before answering. Hello. Her voice trembled. We need you. Silence filled my chest. What happened? I asked softly. Things are difficult, she whispered. I heard my father coughing in the background. Can you visit? She asked. I closed my eyes. Why now? She started crying. Please. After the call ended, I sat in silence. Aisha watched me carefully. You're torn. I feel guilty. Do you want revenge or peace? She asked. The question froze me. I don't know, I admitted. You don't owe them pain, she said gently. I also don't owe them rescue. Then go for closure. I nodded slowly. One last visit. The house looked older when I arrived. My mother opened the door quietly. You came. I said I would. My father sat in the living room. He looked smaller somehow. We're glad you're here, he said softly. I nodded. How are you? Managing, he replied. Danish entered with tired eyes. Hey. Mehak hugged me silently. We sat around the table without food. My mother whispered, we made mistakes. I stared at my hands. My father cleared his throat. We're struggling. I know. We never thought things would fail, he admitted. I studied his face. For the first time, I saw fear, and age, and regret. I felt something shift inside me. Not anger, not victory, just quiet pity. We sat in silence until my father spoke. Thank you for coming, he said quietly. I came for closure, I replied. My mother wiped her eyes. We don't expect miracles. Good, I said, because I don't have any. Danish leaned forward. I can fix the clinic if I get funding. I shook my head. I won't invest. His jaw tightened. You're abandoning me. I'm setting boundaries. Mahak spoke softly. My exhibition can still happen. I won't sponsor it, I said gently. She looked down. I understand. My father sighed deeply. We don't need luxury anymore. What do you need? I asked. Stability, he admitted. I nodded slowly. I can help with essentials. My mother grabbed my hand. That's enough. Danish muttered. It should be more. I met his eyes. It won't be. The room felt heavy but honest. My father cleared his throat. You grew strong. I had to, I replied. We were wrong, my mother whispered. I swallowed hard. I needed to hear that. My father looked at me carefully. You deserved better. I nodded silently. He took a deep breath. I was wrong. The words felt simple, but they shook me. I exhaled slowly. I forgive you, but I won't carry you. My mother cried quietly. Danish stared at the table. Mahak whispered, I'm proud of you. I stood up slowly. I should go. My father walked me to the door. Will you visit again? He asked. Yes, I said, but as a son, not a solution. He nodded. That's fair. Outside, the air felt lighter. I called Aisha. It's done. How do you feel? Peaceful. I'm proud of you. Thank you for asking the hard question. Always, she said warmly. Back home, Ryan hugged me tightly. You look different, he said. I feel different. Aisha smiled. Ready to move forward? Yes. Weeks later, we gathered in my apartment. Aisha held the camera. Everyone squeeze in. Ryan laughed. Don't forget the boss. I'm not the boss here, I said. You are to us, he replied. The camera clicked. I looked at the photo and smiled. I was never the mistake. I whispered. I was the lesson.